Hey, Yanni, Merry Christmas week.
Merry Christmas week. I've never said that before, but I like it.
I got a present from you. Thank you.
I heard you opened it because you sneaked it.
I did sneak
Not
it.
to open it because it was from your wife.
No, so I opened it and it had my name on it, and I opened it, I was like, oh man, I didn't order this. But then I got your note, and let me just read this note because I don't know if you're brilliantly stupid or stupidly brilliant. It says, welcome to the Realmcast. I'm your host, Fantim, and with me as always, were you trying to say Panyani or Punyani? Because there's no difference.
Both. So I will be taking that stupidly brilliant title.
So, Yanni, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you. I did not get you anything, and I feel really horrible now.
No, don't worry about it. Seriously, I didn't. Happy to get you it. I got you it because I wanted to. It's nothing about you need to get me anything. I just felt like it. And it's a lot easier to get you something than it is for you to get me something. So don't worry about it. My pleasure.
Well, Merry Christmas to you,
Merry Christmas.
and Merry Christmas to our fans. We should all watch this season 2 of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah,
Legacies.
you have to tell them what it was. Yeah, there you go, everybody. That was the gift. Since he hasn't actually seen it in its entirety, apparently.
I think I've seen Legacies.
I think you've seen it all, but you totally forgot most of the scenes, I think. I can't remember.
I definitely have. Forgot.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch the parts for Kerry Tagawa.
Well, you're going to enjoy it, man. It's a good season.
So on this week's Tarkon Bite Size, we don't really have a good name for it yet. So I guess we're going to go with Toasty Tuesdays this week. But on this week's, little news brief that we're doing here at the Realmcast, we have some good topics to discuss, don't we?
Oh, yeah. One I feel particularly heated about. But you can list the topics out for everyone.
So first up, we have the ESL Mortal Kombat tournament, the Open Series. We have Uppercut Editions has made some new announcements about their compendium.
Woo.
Some new information on the Mortal Kombat movie. And we got a little bit of information on a former actress from the Mortal Kombat games is planning on something really special for our fans. So all that is coming up here on this week's Tarkon Bite Side episode, Toasty Tuesdays. So Yanni, I hear you're participating in the Mortal Kombat tournament, the only Mortal Kombat tournament available right now.
I don't even know if that is actually true. And I say that because the organization has been abysmal. I genuinely do not know. I cannot actually answer that for you.
Wait, you don't know if you're participating or not?
Well, even that, I don't know. Okay, so I have been participating in what is the ESL Open Series tournament. I know that there's something called the Intercontinental as well, but that seems to possibly be part of this. I don't know. They're both handled by ESL Gaming. And as mentioned, I have been less than impressed with the organization. This was the third event I've taken part in. This just ended literally like half an hour ago, everybody, as of the time of this recording. My first tournament, I came, 14th out of 30, 40 people? I don't know. 14th, and then 13th the second, and now the 10th. But each of those events has had a lot of issues, which we plan on getting into in its own individual episode in full detail, because I cannot express just how irritating the experience has been. And if this is the normal experience for those in the fighting game community, I'm genuinely concerned for the Mortal Kombat FGC. I really am, because it's been pathetic.
Let me preface this with a little bit of information for our fans that aren't familiar with it. You may have seen Mortal Kombat's official accounts posting about this tournament that's happening. And the thing about this tournament is it is a completely online tournament. Of course, it's not using anything from Mortal Kombat Online's Fight Klub, which would have been amazing, as we talked about in the previous Realmcast episodes. This is purely based off of what is currently available from the official Mortal Kombat stuff. And is this only a PlayStation tournament?
It seems to be, yes. This tournament itself, I genuinely cannot tell you. As I said, I do not understand if I've taken part in 3 events or if I've taken part in 1 with follow-ups. I don't know. All I know is that it's an open series weekly qualifier. I've taken part in number 2, number 3, and number 4. I've also apparently been invited to the top 8 somehow, and I'm crap, by the way, so that's kind of surprising to me. I don't know what that actually means. It could mean that a reward for the top 8. I don't know. Speaking of which, I have not received any of my 500 time crystal rewards for the last 3 events I've taken part in, but maybe that comes at the end. But I've had a lot of issues with, actually getting into my matches with my opponents, which is something Mortal Kombat Online's Fight Klub would honestly save. This is the perfect way to organize matches, and they're not using it, which is a shame, but obviously, it's just come out. But the organization communication has been very bad. What they do is they send an event notification to your PlayStation account on PlayStation 4, and you then access the match from the event page. And what will happen is at the specific time, so let's just say 10 o'clock or 10:30, you will accept the match invitation, and you'll wait for your opponent to accept the invitation too. Now, what has happened with me most of the time is I've had my opponents not even accept the match invitation. So, what do? I wait 10 minutes as per the ESL rules, and after 10 minutes, I open a ticket. I then get an admin or a mod replying to that ticket, giving my opponent an extra 5 to 20 minutes, which is, again, completely against the rules. The rules specifically state you have 10 minutes to accept the match, and I don't know, maybe they don't have enough people, or I don't know what they're doing, but they're not enforcing their own rules. And that's on top of multiple other problems I've had with this tournament, which we will be getting into. But the biggest issue I had today, which I would like to mention, is my opponent didn't turn up, and I recently got a PlayStation 5. Ooh. And so far, the Mortal Kombat 11 experience on PS5 is actually really been upgraded. But what hasn't been upgraded is the lack of an events page on the PS5 screen. So when I made this clear during one of my matches to ESL, the support replied saying, invite your opponent, add them as a friend and invite them to a private match, which I did. So I did that, and they never responded. So I opened a protest ticket saying, hey, just making it clear, I've sent her a friend request to play the match. And what I got was, this was probably the best response I've had from the support of the tournament so far, which was, if you don't send screenshots of the result will be invalid and you will both be disqualified. You have 15 minutes to send me a valid result.
Well, honestly, I think you deserve to be disqualified, so...
I totally agree. But I mean, the only thing I could respond to that was, why would I be disqualified if my opponent doesn't turn up? I've sent him a friend request and a match invite. What more can I do, Like, I don't know if they expected me to actually fly to his country and turn on his PlayStation for him. I genuinely don't know what they were expecting. But when I asked this, I actually didn't get a response. Anyway, that's just sort of a little bit of insight into the problems that this tournament has had. And I've recently tweeted about this with all the issues, and of course only ever got a response from NRS after an FGC member, shout out to @Nasser_Aziz, actually replied to me. So again, less than impressed, but let's see how this goes down, and we'll definitely be getting into it in more detail on the full episode.
So there you have it. The Mortal Kombat new tournament is working out well.
Very well. Super well.
And I'm sure it's working out well for everybody else who's participating. So if you are participating, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of it so far. If you ran into the same type of issues, or if Yani is just not giving people the 30 minutes that they deserve to get online.
Hey, I don't make the rules. It's funny. We always hate on... Well, not hate on, but we hate on NRS for giving too much to the FGC scene instead of focusing on, like, say, the lore fans, right? And the moment I give the fighting game scene an actual chance, every single experience I've had with it has been terrible. So imagine everybody else going through similar stuff, just not, having the platform to get this out. And that's why I want to raise this issue. It's honestly pathetic. I'm so disappointed. Anyway, we'll get into that on another episode.
Yeah, we'll make a dedicated bite-sized episode just for that. So also, by the time this episode is released, Uppercut Editions would have showcased their digital preview for the Mortal Kombat Kompendium, which is big news because for those who don't know, this is the Mortal Kombat Encyclopedia that's been worked on for years now, and we're finally able to see what it's looking like, and that's good news because that means there's some more progression with this project. And so they're releasing a preview, and then they're basically adding to that preview, compounding to it daily for a while until they've kind of released a full preview for everybody to enjoy. So I'm so excited to see how this is going to look.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I really like the idea that they're going to be releasing it bit by bit. I think that's a great way to do it, rather than just we throw everything out in one go and then it's like everyone just gets over it. But with this, you can sort of like generate further hype, like expect, what's gonna come next. I'm really excited to see all of this.
Oh, me too. I can't wait to see how it turns out, because I mean, we've seen some pages and we've seen some of the demo books and stuff from some of our friends who have made videos about it, like the Fourth Snake and Uncaged Games, and they've kind of walked us through different renditions of this book, but to see it now in a more finished piece and like a piece of the finished project, that's super exciting. And I'm hoping that comes with some follow-up information on how we're going to be able to see this and some more news on the book itself.
It's kind of crazy to me that the project seems to be nearing the end, or the end for its time, because I've been following this as long as I can remember. I've been so excited for it over all these years.
I remember when they first started talking about it, like back when Mortal Kombat 9 was released, and kind of pointed out that there was no such thing out there. And now to see a full compendium, like it's just super exciting. And I've seen one of the preview books that they had, and the stuff that they have in it is amazing. Like we've talked about before, when we had one of the creators for the book on with us in our first episode of Realmcast, they have stuff in there like all these unknown characters who you don't even think about, but they have little tiny subsections on there about every single one of them, so that you can dive into who these characters were and how they relate to the lore, or if they're just side characters from Malibu Comics and stuff like that.
I think this is going to be the ultimate Mortal Kombat fan piece to have.
Yeah, it's the resource that NetherRealm needs.
Yeah, I mean, forget the fans. NetherRealm needs this 100%. We've seen that with Mortal Kombat 11's writing. I've been seeing NRS employees liking the Compendium's tweets. I've been seeing this. You can tell that they would benefit from this too, and you can tell that they believe that. So that's good to see. I really do hope that this gets a lot more attention. Guys, you need to like the Compendium page. You need to tell WB, you need to tell NRS that you want to see this, because as far as I've seen, any fan who's actually had a look at the Compendium has been blown away by how amazing it is, and they have become just as excited as we are, which you can probably hear in our voices.
Yeah, like even the strongest critics, they have all had nothing but good things to say about.
Be careful there.
So we'll leave a link in the description on how you guys can see that preview, and don't forget to tag Encyclopedia MK on Twitter and visit their Facebook page, the Mortal Kombat Encyclopedia Project. This past couple weeks in Mortal Kombat movie news, we've seen quite a bit of up and downs for the Mortal Kombat movie. As always. I don't want to say it's a train wreck, but the way it's being handled is a train wreck. So the thing is, Todd Garner initially said, prepare some new information, and then right away he backtracked on that and said, never mind, I'm not showcasing this, or I'm not talking about it.
He said the next day after making the announcement that he was going to be releasing some information on the movie or something. And it seemed to be that he was held back by WB or something based on the comments. Couldn't tell completely. There was a comment, there was something which implied that it seemed to be out of his control. And for me, I don't think that people should be getting mad at Todd Garner, as people seem to be doing, which is really not good. Firstly, we shouldn't be getting up in arms against somebody in the community like this, and we should be supporting them. But the amount of hate I've seen steered towards Todd Garner is so unnecessary, when he's really the only guy other than Greg Russo sharing any information with us about the movie, and we want that information. So the fact now that he's been scared off of Twitter, apparently.
That's right. I completely forgot. He's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It's disgusting. It really is, guys. I really hope it's none of you.
So a lot of this, like you said, falls back onto WB. The big issue right now is AT&T bought out WB a few years ago, and when they bought it out with this plan of basically making this multimedia streaming service and trying to capitalize on this whole movie industry thing, and then immediately after, the world went into chaos and movies weren't being released. And just to kind of give you a quick summary of what's going on with all of this, AT&T owns WB. AT&T decides what WB is going to do, and they decided that they're just going to release their stuff on HBO Max. If the movie theaters decide that if they blacklist WB, it doesn't matter, because WB's already said, hey, these movies that we had, we've already decided we're not making any money off of them because they were supposed to be released months ago. So what they did is they said to the movie theaters, you guys can release on the same day that we release them on HBO Max if you want, and that way we both make money and everybody's happy. Like, the movie theaters have either take this or they're completely out of money altogether. After this announcement that movies such as Mortal Kombat and Wonder Woman 84 and Dune were going to be released on HBO Max and in the movie theaters, there have been a lot of talk of lawsuits from various guilds within Hollywood against Warner Brothers, because these movies were made, and the studios and the groups and the teams that went together into making them had no idea that this was going to be the case. So I think what happened was Todd, kind of made the announcement that he was going to be able to reveal something, but then Warner Brothers backpedaled on him a little bit. So the movie's getting released now in HBO Max, and it's getting released in theaters in April. But we found out not too long after all this was that there was going to be a sneak preview in Arizona for a select few audience. So a bunch of people bought tickets to this. Some people even flew out to Arizona to see the movie, and their first screening got canceled completely. I don't know why, but nobody got to see that first screening.
Ouch. That's so bad.
It is. I mean, can you imagine? First of all, flying in the current condition.
Yeah.
And then arriving there and finding out that your screening has been canceled, but everybody else gets to go to theirs. So
But did they? I thought they canceled it completely.
As far as I know, the other screenings still took place. And there even been some Reddit posts asking about it and asking for some input for people who went to the event on December 19th. But I haven't seen any solid information on the screening itself. So
it's just very weird. Like, why would they have canceled it in the first place,
Oh, yeah. It doesn't make sense that they would just cancel one screening and not the others. But as of right now, there's not really any new information from it. I'm sure the people that attended would have had to sign some kind of NDA and wouldn't be able to talk about what they saw. So we don't have anything new that I know of.
Just hearing about the fact that it's been cancelled for certain people, that screening, there's already enough negative publicity for this movie. And I know people say, oh, well, any publicity is good publicity. Like, no, in this case, there's been too much negative. Everywhere I see people bring up the movie, it's followed by jeering comments. And we don't need that. I don't blame people. We've had the whole Cole Turner situation. We've had the movie being delayed, etc. Like, okay, certain things are out of their hands. We can't help that it's been delayed. We're going through a global crisis right now. And for the people who don't understand why it's being delayed, come on, think about it, really, But then this sort of stuff with making announcements, again, not Todd Garner's fault, really not his fault, but this stuff needs to be agreed beforehand by everyone involved. Otherwise, we have situations like this turn up. And again, there's no excuse for what the specific fans have done to Todd Garner and pretty much forcing him off of Twitter. But there goes our one consistent source of the movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So the fact that he's gone now, we're almost like half blind at this point of information about what's going on with the movie and what we're going to be able to see and when we're going to be able to see anything. I do want to correct myself. There have been some people who posted on that have posted on Reddit saying they did see the movie. I don't know how true it is, but they all have very positive things to say about it. So that's great news to hear. And like I said about our interview with the Mortal Kombat script leaker on the Realmcast, from everything I've heard, I am more hopeful about this movie and about seeing it. I'm not expecting it to be amazing, but I'm hopeful that it might be a decent movie to see.
Low expectations, high hopes. Pretty much the same for me. So I mentioned that we have people annoyed at the fact that it's been delayed and stuff. But to be fair, we all expected the movie to be delayed a lot longer. I think we were talking December 2021 on one of our episodes previously. But instead of it being January 2021, as was the original release date, what was the new release date that we finally got?
April.
Yeah,
it's going to be April 16th, 2021. It's going to be in IMAX and HBO Max and movie theaters all across the US.
That's crazy.
I think there might even be an earlier showing in the EU, which tends to happen with HBO Max releases. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, this goes to show about how some fans can be, where I've seen people complaining that it's been delayed to April.
And do you know what? I don't know if you noticed this, but they tweaked the original logo, which they showcased.
Oh, yes.
They added a red eye in it and kind of tweaked the design, which is pretty cool because one of our listeners, Dave Savage, at Dave Savage 1982, he actually kind of did a little redesign of the logo that was originally released and added a red eye and kind of changed things around a little bit. And it seems that their graphic designer kind of leaned into that design and made it for the official logo. So I don't know if he drew inspiration from Dave Savage's tweet, but I mean, they look pretty identical now.
I believe they did, because Todd Garner specifically tweeted using Savage's image.
Yeah, and he did, and then he used it for some of his information releases and stuff like that.
I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I think so. So huge props to Dave Savage for that. That's amazing.
Seriously, love the logo.
Yeah, that's cool. and of course, huge props to the original logo designer too. I myself am a big fan of the logo itself.
Yes.
I like what they did with it. I like how they changed it from the red dragon that was originally showcased while they were doing production.
It didn't feel MK, you know what I mean?
To me, it was different. I don't think it was not Mortal Kombat, but it was too different. It strayed away from what we know.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean by it didn't feel MK though, you know, like it was so different that it didn't feel MK to me. So I get what you're saying. But I don't know. I'm super glad they changed it. This looks a lot more traditional, and in my opinion, after all these years of the logo itself being the way it is, just with certain changes made to it, like say textures and, you know, anything like that, colors, there was no need to change it so drastically as they did when people are already concerned about the movie being different from, you know, the story that we've come to know and love.
Exactly. The new logo emphasized how different it was going to be, and I think it put a bad taste and bad expectations in people's mouth. Yeah.
So very happy to see that they've changed that. I think the new logo is beautiful. I actually think it could be one of my favorite logos.
Me too. I really do like it. I want to use it for something. And for our last bit of information today, so last week we discussed about how Carrie Hoskins had released some images of herself in the original Mortal Kombat 3 Sonya Blade uniform and just basically reprised her role as Sonya Blade for a photo shoot. This week, there's some more cool news about that. Lia Montelongo, who originally played Sindel in Mortal Kombat 3, has also decided she's going to reprise her roles and she's going to be redonning the outfits for Sindel,
Tanya. And Sareena.
And for Sareena.
That was no way you were going to say that. I was saying that.
So she's going to be doing this, and she's going to be posing in the full outfits again for a photo shoot. So I can't wait to see what she does with it, because she also looks as good as she did back then. So it's going to be really cool to see the original Sindel as Sindel again.
I'm most hyped for Sareena, to be honest, of course, and even more so for Tanya. Like, I know Sindel is her what she's known for, but for me, like, without her performance in Mythologies, Sareena wouldn't be one of my favorite characters of all time, you know? So this is so huge to me. I'm really, really hyped to see this. And Tanya as well. I really like Tanya as a character. So again, super excited to see Sindel, Tanya, and most importantly to me, Sareena, be brought to life again by the original actress.
And so also, I got a little bit more information about this that I don't think I've told you about yet. So she's also going to be hosting an event called Combat Comeback. It's going to be a virtual event, and for the first 50 people that register, they're going to be able to receive a free Combat Comeback decal.
No way.
Yep. And so it's going to be a live virtual experience where you get to meet Lia. This is all going to be occurring on December 27th at 3 p.m. Central Time. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link up below where you can check out and get some more information on it. But yeah, she's going to be hosting a virtual event, and knowing Lia, you know, I'm sure she's going to have some great surprises in there for any fans that are interested.
Hold on, I'm registering right now. Oh, that's amazing. I had no idea.
Yep. So that's super exciting to hear.
I just want to see Sareena brought to life again. Oh my god. I'm curious as to what the platform is going to be like for this.
I'm not sure, but one thing that she does mention is that there are going to be some Mortal Kombat guest announcements. So I don't know if that means she's going to bring in a couple more people into this, or if she is the Mortal Kombat guest that's going to be announcing stuff. Either way, I'm excited to see it. Yani, I think one of us will definitely be there for this.
Hopefully both of us will be.
We'll leave a link in the description for that also, so if you're interested to know. Also, while I'm at it, if you're interested in the current production problems going on with AT&T and Warner Brothers, I'm going to leave a link in the description from a video from Midnight Edge, just so you guys can check that out, because we'll give you a lot more information on kind of what's happening right now in Hollywood with everything Mortal Kombat movie related. And it does apply to what we're seeing with some of the stuff happening with HBO Max and the Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, thanks for joining us for this episode, which we still don't know what to call it, but we're going to go with Toasty Tuesday for now. Let us know what you think. We're going to get more into the tournament thing on another episode, but if you did sign up and you've had your own experiences with it, let us know. Are you as excited for the Mortal Kombat Kompendium as we are? Because It is so close I can taste it. And let us know what you think of the Mortal Kombat movie updates. And of course, last but not least, at least in my eyes, what do you think of Lia Montelongo actually returning to reprise her costumes as Sindel, Tanya, and Sareena? Let us know.
And also, let us know what you think about the title for this new segment. As we mentioned before, we're kind of compressing all of the Mortal Kombat news into one weekly bite-sized episode, which used to be our Tarkatan bite-sized episode, but we're changing things around a little bit. So if you got any ideas for a title, feel free to leave them in the description or send us a tweet and let us know what you think. Just, that might help us because we're idiots.
Keep that in there. Please like, follow, subscribe to stay up to date with our videos. Thank you.